The ability to tell a good story isn't just for films or books. It can be used in all sorts of areas, like social media, job interviews, and even in your research at the School of Open Cohesion. This is storytelling, the art of telling a tale in a way that's effective and engaging. So, let's dive in together and see how to create a captivating narrative, looking at the storyline, the point of view, and the best tools to communicate your ideas and your team's civic monitoring story effectively. If you think about it, from the days of Homer's Odyssey to now, not much has changed. The elements in a story that move us, engage us, and make us think are pretty much the same across all narratives. It's no accident that we talk about archetypes, models that can be adapted to different contexts, languages, and goals. One of these is the hero's journey, a concept that many scholars have explored since the myths of ancient Greece. In this framework, the hero or heroine starts their adventure in an ordinary world, gets called to action, faces challenges, and eventually returns transformed, bringing back new knowledge. Think of films like Star Wars or Harry Potter. The main characters overcome obstacles that help them grow, just like you and your team have done with at the School of Open Cohesion. You were called to action, chose a project to monitor, faced a lot of data and information, maybe felt a bit lost at times, but with your teacher's help, you found your way and have now reached this point with a wealth of new knowledge and experiences that have turned you into active and responsible citizens. Isn't that a story worth telling? Let's find out how. Beyond archetypes, what makes a story special is how it's structured. The first step to a good story is to define a clear storyline. A solid narrative often follows a 3-act structure. Act 1, the initial situation. What's the starting challenge? For example, if your team is monitoring a project aimed at improving transport and mobility in your area, describe what motivated the research. What made you want to explore this topic? Was this project known in the local community? Was it talked about publicly? What's the goal of the project's implementation? In terms of transport, is it to improve an existing connection with issues, create a new route, or promote sustainable mobility? Act 2, the journey towards resolution. What discoveries and turning points have there been? This act is key for keeping the audience engaged and is the heart of the hero's journey. For instance, share the challenges you've faced, the people you've met, the data you've collected, and how these experiences have helped you move forward in your research. The third and final act, the resolution. How does the story end? What outcomes have you achieved? It's important to give your audience a satisfying conclusion. In the case of a transport and mobility project, you could explain how your in-depth research and the information gathered have helped you understand the initial problem, the critical issues you identified, the solutions you implemented, the awareness, or lack of it, of this initiative among its intended beneficiaries, its potential or actual impact on your community, and the proposals you can make to enhance the value of your area after completing your research. Another key element is the point of view. Who's telling the story? You could choose to narrate in the first person, letting the audience feel your emotions. I lived this experience. Or you could go for a third-person perspective, telling the story in a more objective and detached way. The events unfolded as follows. Images really pack a punch when it comes to how we think. Just think about Trajan's Column in Rome or those stunning Gothic cathedrals. They told stories through their sculptures and paintings. Nowadays, technology lets us do the same thing digitally and in a fraction of the time. Visual storytelling is a fantastic tool, especially for breaking down complex info like the data you've collected in your civic monitoring. Sharing stories through images, videos, and infographics not only makes the narrative more captivating, but also helps people grasp the information more easily. There are loads of visual storytelling tools out there that could be really handy for you, starting with the free options. For instance, you could use Canva or Chapterchart to whip up vibrant presentations and infographics, TimeToast for creating timelines that highlight the story's progress, Storymap.js for interactive maps, Powtoon for animated videos and lively presentations, or ThingLink, which lets you make interactive images and videos by adding multimedia content for a more immersive storytelling experience. There's even Lumen 5, a tool that turns texts or articles into engaging videos automatically, along with many others you can find in the dedicated resources. We've looked at how to craft an effective story by understanding archetypes and narrative structures, and how multimedia storytelling tools can help us shape our narrative. Now it's your turn and your teams to get creative, engage your audience, and spark curiosity and questions. In short, make sure your story leaves a lasting impression.